Carter and Nick, please report to the manager's office. Carter and Nick, please report to the manager's office. Thank you.
I don't believe in your medicine, so leave me to die. Oh, when I stay ahead, I'm going crazy. I'm head to the other side.
Hello, frequent shoppers. Welcome to Retail Release. My name's Carter.
My name's Nick.
We're not going to use our last names here.
No.
No, this, Nick and I have decided that we have, well, actually, a lot of people decided for us that listening to us rant about our retail jobs was tiring. And we don't disagree, but we'd also like a safe, positive, extremely negative, but inclusive place to rant about our job. We are both retail associates at a large department store chain. We both work in the electronics department of that store, which we will not name. If you happen to know us, don't give the game away. But please come on our show as well, because we'd be happy to talk to you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Listen to your stories.
Yeah, we want to.
Golden nuggets at the bottom of every goddamn bass cart.
We want to hear everything you have to say, because this is for. I looked up to see if this had been done. I looked up retail podcasts, and all of it are like we're a marketing firm, and like we're gonna tell you about like the hot new trends in commerce and marketing and retail. And it's like, no, this is not for you.
This is definitely not that.
This is the lowest people on the food chain talking about how shitty retail life is.
And with that first swear, we should probably mention this is not for children.
This is a swearing podcast. This is where we use the bad words because we have a lot to vent about. That's just the case of it.
Our store is family friendly. This podcast is not.
That's true. So this podcast, I don't want to alienate listeners. If you are just a customer and have never worked retail in your life, listen. You might get offended, but instead of doing that and getting offended, why don't you take a look at yourself? So I also kind of want to think about this podcast as maybe a guide. If you are a customer, here are some tips and tricks for what not to do while you're shopping at any store, interacting with any employee ever.
You know, how to not be on a podcast.
Yeah.
About us.
Listen. Tip number 1, I think, this is the most important thing. Don't be memorable. Just don't.
So good.
Just don't.
It's so easy.
Listen. It's so easy. The moment you do anything that is like outside of the norm for interacting, like customer associate interaction, we hate you now. You're already done.
Like, we're people. Like, we are literally strangers getting paid to be in a space. And, like, if you wouldn't go up to somebody on a subway and say certain things to them, it's the exact same thing.
We cannot escape.
We literally can't.
Like we're trapped on a subway, but you're not.
We're in the box.
I got a really good example because this literally happened yesterday. And that's how good this is. Like, we have an infinite amount of content to deliver to you because stuff happens to us nonstop. Somebody tasseled my hair.
What?
And I don't have a better way to say it. Because that's exactly what happened.
I thought, like, winking was bad.
Winking is bad. Old men will wink at me. And probably you.
Both, definitely.
Like, old men are creepy.
Definitely get hit on by the old men.
Yeah, like, and I've never even considered it, like, to be any amount of sexual. It's just that, like, old men, I mean, okay, if you're a female associate or, then yeah, they're pervy and awful. Yeah. Men will just wink at me, and I just have no clue what to do about it. Like, and I don't know how to take it. Anyway, so this guy came in and he had his iPhone and he was like, "What do you know about iPhones?" And I was like, "Just everything I know in my experience with them. I have." Anyway, he shows me that his screen is a little bit zoomed in, which I immediately know how to fix because I've dealt with it before. All you have to do is tap the screen with 3 fingers. It's not that difficult. So I do that. He shows it to me and he's in the middle of explaining what the problem is, and I hit the screen with the 3 fingers. The screen resets to normal and he just looks at me and then grabs the back of my head and shakes me.
What?
Yeah, like he's taller than me, because if he was shorter than me, that'd be really odd. That'd be
real
an odd.
Weird.
Yeah, he just Like, bro. No. What's wrong with thank you? That was...
Also, it's important to note that we do not have a help desk, and so when people come in asking for help, like, if we're not busy, we're nice guys, we'll help you. But if you come in, you're like, yeah, I bought this iPad at Best Buy, and now it's, like, not working after 6 months. What? Why would we help you?
That is the other thing, yeah. Our department has an electronics area, but we are just cashiers within it, and nobody treats it like that. We're treated like the tech department at another store where you might actually pay for tech service, but we don't get... They probably get a cut of that money. By the way, if you work for a tech desk like that, please send us your stories.
Oh my god, you probably have gold.
Yeah, we want you on this podcast. We want anybody with any amount of stories to just come and vent with us. We're really excited about getting that to happen.
Yeah.
But we don't get, like, not even the store makes money from us helping out with people's, like, tech problems.
No, we probably lose money, actually.
Like, and it's let's just call it what it is. It's exploitation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's what's happening.
For sure.
Like, instead of paying $60, like, straight up, and then whatever hourly service fee and parts fees from, like, whatever service you would go to hole in the wall downtown, like, you're coming to a place where somebody is trapped and has to help you when they don't know what they're doing, and if they mess up, or if they don't know what to do, you just get mad at me. That's fun. Love it. Thanks.
Yeah, that's the best. Or if we just say, no, we can't help you, and you get mad at us, you're like, well, I'm not shopping here anymore. Like,
Oh.
we don't care.
Good.
We really don't care.
Please leave.
I have a story from today.
Today.
Yeah, just today.
Fresh off the press.
2 hours ago.
Not
Where
no,
customer called in, and they were like, I have bought this particular television, but it did not come with legs. And they really liked the television. They were like, this is the television I want. So I explained to them, well, I've never heard of it not having legs, but, you know, mistakes happen, so they can come on in and exchange their television.
Real
for-
quick, can we
Yeah.
translate what that means?
What do you mean?
The fucking TV had legs.
Oh.
It came with legs. It did.
It did.
It just did.
The legs, yeah,
Guys,
definitely.
mistakes like that just don't happen.
There's not just no legs. in
There's
the
just,
box.
there's not just no legs. Like a TV doesn't just come with no legs. Mistakes like that aren't made anymore.
They really are.
I'm sorry.
Not at all.
Anyway, please continue.
Yeah, so anyways, said customer was like, well, I live quite a far distance away. Just end of sentence.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I just repeated myself. Well, yeah, we can go ahead and exchange it, or I can, like, find you some legs in a previously returned same television, because we probably have one. So yeah, they're calling, and so I was like, okay, I'll check and make sure we have one. We did, and she was like, well,
That's good.
what are you gonna do about it?
So you put her on hold,
Yeah.
and then you went and checked to see if you had the legs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got back to her and I was like, okay, you can either exchange for the television for the same TV, or I can get you just a package of legs for said television. And she was just like, well, I want this TV. So what are you gonna do about it?
But you did it. You were done.
I was done. That was the end of the communication. And so I had to explain to her again.
Did she want us to mail them to her?
I don't know.
Did she want us to FedEx them? Did she want us to send them by pigeon?
Like,
Come down and get the goddamn legs.
it's like, how many swallows does it take to, like, you get 2 swallows, tie some TV legs to them, send them out?
God. Like, what did she do? How did it end?
She was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll come in.
Oh, sorry.
So she
What an inconvenience for you to get a second pair of legs for the first pair of legs that you definitely had. I had the same thing happen to me with a remote, where this woman bought a TV and she gave it to her daughter, and then somewhere between that, she lost the remote and was convinced that the box didn't come with a
have a
remote.
remote.
Now, I even cover my base because we have like return stickers. If something was a return and we didn't inventory it properly, okay, maybe. So I.
I made sure of that too.
Yeah. So I
same
asked her
thing.
like, is there a return sticker on it, like a discount sticker because it's an open box product? And she said no. Great. It came with a remote. The remote was there and you lost it. Stop. So she's in the store with me, and she's like, well, I just need a remote. And I'm like, cool. You have a couple options. You can bring that TV in, and we can just exchange it for a new one like you were going to do.
Yeah.
Or contact the company, contact the manufacturer, and see if they'll just mail you one.
Oh, wait, quick side note. If you are a customer and it is outside of return policy, or you just want those goddamn little nibs for the goddamn little earbuds you bought and they're shit and they're gonna fall off, contact the goddamn manufacturer. They're really nice people. They will go out of their way to fix your problem. There is nothing that cannot be solved by just contacting the manufacturer.
Because that's the thing, the dude that makes the product you bought is directly tied to the success of their company.
They also have literally infinite amounts
That's true too.
of inventory of that thing you probably want
When
that
you
people
buy-
lose all the time.
When you buy your headphones with the little rubber tips and you lose them, we are not able to provide
we
for
don't
you.
have like a bin of those. Like people come in
People
asking
expect that.
for like they're like, do you have some of these extra nibs? And like, no, we don't have they don't send us a baggie of little nibs for your goddamn stupid cheap earbuds.
Picture that for a minute, what that would look like in a store. And then picture like it's an entire aisle, because that's what it would be. Because we would need to have them for every brand of headphones if we were gonna have the one. Then you wouldn't know which one to get, even though they're all labeled.
Because you don't know what brand headphones you bought.
And yeah, you've forgotten that, so good job on you. And then you're going to be asking us, well, which one do I need? In which case, you expect that we have puts
Telekinetic
on.
time bending powers.
What did we do? Did we open every pair of headphones and try them and then memorize how they felt in our ear holes? That probably didn't happen. That's a sanitary risk.
Oh, also, to people out there who want to try on headphones that are prepackaged, okay,
Stop.
no,
They're
yeah,
gonna work.
no. Also, we have a return policy for that.
Yeah.
Company that we work for does not care if you buy every product and return it 10 minutes later because you don't like the feel of it. If it's in a box, we cannot open it to put on your head. That's gross.
That's super, super gross.
Especially earbuds.
I've earbuds. These are rubber things that go in your ear. I don't know. Okay, so when I put on earbuds, it takes about 10 seconds for them to just get coated in wax. They're gross and nobody else is ever going to want to wear them now.
You literally push them into your ears where wax is trying to come out, so
Just imagine
it's gonna get stuff on them.
imagine those earbuds that you were asking to try out have already been worn by just a single other person for 10 seconds.
Yeah,
You do not want them anymore.
those exact people that want to try them on do not want to try on the returned ones.
Those exact people that don't want to try them on don't even want to buy the pair that they tried on. They want me to repackage that, put a sticker on it for a return because that's what I got to do now, or salvage it because it's disgusting. And then they're going to buy a brand new in the box package of the identical product. That guys, that has happened.
Please,
Literally
stop.
has happened. I want to state that most of the stuff we might exaggerate every now and then, but everything that we're saying is true.
Right now, 100% accurate.
Yeah, everything we've said up to now, at least, has happened more than once.
You can literally walk up to anyone who has worked retail and be like, "Is this guy trying to make it too big of a thing?" No.
This woman that wanted the remote, I was like, just bring the TV. And she said, well, we've already mounted it to the wall. And I said, okay, well, take it down from the wall and put it in a box and bring it back. She said, well, I'm not going to do that. And I said, listen, I cannot just open up a new box and hand you the remote.
Because guess what? That means that there's another TV without a goddamn remote.
Not only that, you still have the first remote. You lost it. Because it came with a remote. It just doesn't not. Anyway, she looked legitimately surprised that, like, that wasn't a solution that was on the table. And it's like, there's no box of loose remotes.
I wish there was a way to, like, walk customers through the sheer reasoning behind our logic, right? Like,
Yeah. No,
Like,
I wish
if-
so too.
if
Especially
I go
for
into
products like the earbuds.
yeah, if I go into the back room, what do you expect I'm looking at? Just like just a room full of nibs, and then I come back out like literally 30 seconds later, I'm like, yeah, we don't have any.
I think customers think you're looking at, like, sort of a Harry Potter style infinite room in like a quantum space that doesn't exist. That's full of everything you want, but because we're little demons,
It's like a
we just-
hallway that goes forever.
what we do is we go up and we find the thing. We probably type in, we search for it, and it comes up to us on like a magical conveyor belt. And then we just like grin and pick it up and lick it. And then we put it back and we come out of the back and we say, I'm sorry, we just don't have it. Like, that's not what's going on. Sorry. Should we also, I think we should do some obvious ones. Some obvious customer things.
Well, I wanted to end like every episode, how other podcasts end, with like a particular saying,
Okay.
and I can just do it now, so people know
Just well,
why it's a thing.
like as an example.
Yeah.
Do you want to just okay?
Well, yeah,
'Cause
because it would be the thing.
Because we're definitely not ready to end.
No. I'm just saying that. Okay, so I want to end every episode with there are no quick questions. That is a myth. No quick questions. There is no question which is quick.
There might be for other departments, not for our department.
Not for our department.
Well, and that's the other thing too. It's a quick question if they got the exact answer that they wanted, but they won't.
But they're not gonna get what they wanted. And yeah, if you're the person that starts the sentence, oh, quick question, you're not gonna want a short solution. You're not searching for a short solution.
Quick question: do you sell cell phone batteries? No. Oh, well, where can I get them? Well, that's question 2. I don't know. I would contact the manufacturer of your phone. Well, is there anywhere in town I can get them? Question 3. Thank you. Well, there's one place that sells quite a few batteries. They probably have something you're looking for. Oh, well, where are they? Question 4. They're off of Iowa Street, just off the freeway exit. Here's their name.
How far away are they by train?
And sometimes, then the most inexplicable thing that people will say, well, I don't want to drive that far. Okay. Well,
Now you've made it to 6 questions
and a statement
and a statement
that is so flabbergastingly useless of you to say.
to us.
To us. Oh, fuck, I'm sorry. Well, why don't you put on my name tag? I'll take your phone and drive to the battery store and I'll just bring it back. That's not wrong for, like, several reasons.
God damn it.
Like, what do you expect from... man, there have been times where, like, sometimes it depends on the mood I'm in, but there are times when, like, someone will say something like you brought up earlier where, like, you just have to kind of repeat what you just said, or I just stare at them in silence and wait for a response, and I wait for them to realize that the first thing they said was just utter nonsense. And they have to follow up with something else because I just have no clue how to respond to it.
So, when I'm helping a customer, my default setting is that they are a logical, knowing adult. And during the following time after engaging with the customer, their age decreases exponentially. So if I have to continue talking to you for an extended period of time, eventually you get to like the 3-year-old level where I'm just going like blunt answers. Just Does this charge? Yes.
Can we stress, though, that if you have legitimate questions, or, like, even if you have the no level of knowledge about anything electronic, or whatever applicably to any department, you don't know how to use a lawnmower and you'd like it explained to you, just be polite. We are not mad at you when you come up to me and you ask me to define what, like, Bluetooth is, which happens once a week. Really, it does.
I mean, Google exists, but...
I'll explain it to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I will. There's a combination of ignorance and, like, elitism, basically, I think is what it is. Like,
That's fair.
it's like, I don't know this, and I demand that, like, this person, that you explain it to me, and I'm gonna keep interrupting you, and I'm not gonna let you finish, and I'm not gonna listen at the same time. All three of those things are gonna happen,
Simultaneously.
and those are the people we're mad at. And it's like,
those are the people that drove us to this podcast.
that drove us to this podcast.
So thank you, I guess, people.
Appreciate it. There's like, most people are generally whatever. But, like, that doesn't matter when you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds of people a day. Even if 1 out of every 100 is garbage, that is a bummer for your whole, like, psyche. It just sucks. Like, it's not that hard to, like, for us to teach you something we know about, and it's not that hard for you to listen and be polite about it. It's just something about something that makes it insane, and we get people that are just, like, expect us to move heaven and earth and don't understand why we're not in a position where that would be okay. Or, on the other hand, that's one type of customer. Then there are other people who have a dumbass problem that I solve in 2 seconds, and then they push my head around for 5 seconds. They just get their grubby fingers all up in my hair and just toss my head back and forth, and just, like, that's cool. Like, God, don't touch employees.
No physical touching
Don't
of
ever.
employees.
Don't ever do it.
I have...
How is it taking so long? How is it still happening?
I have long hair, and a previous employee in our sector had kind of like afro style hair. Several times customers came up to him and just like started like melding his hair, I want to say. Just like kneading it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trying to like sculpt it, I guess. That's not okay. I've had people like run their hands through like I have a long braid in the back of my skull. Just like running their hands through it. Like, I don't know where your hands have been. Please don't touch my hair. That's
What?
gross.
What are you okay. What are you thinking?
What?
Like, what part of you is just like, yup, like, this is not a petting zoo.
We don't get paid enough. Actually, I think we get paid a lot more
Like,
if we were part of some sort of human petting zoo.
yeah.
Yeah,
Like, you gotta pay a big cover fee to, like,
get into that.
get in my hair.
Whatever that weird kinky thing would be.
I wish we could just punch people like that.
Oh, yeah.
But then we get in trouble.
Yeah, we'd get in trouble.
Right
You
away.
wouldn't. And in fact, you'd probably get like paid a lot of money by
That's true.
the particular store.
You would get all up in my bubble. I would assault you, and then I would get fired, and you would get a gift card. So that's the kind of world that we live in, and that's why we're angry about it.
So
Oh, man.
much rage.
Hey, there's nothing in the back. Just sorry.
It's not there
Unless-
unless it's too large to be on the floor. Like you want the Kia Optima off the shelf.
Right. The only time it might be in the back is if I bring up that it might be in the back and I go check. If you say, well, do you have any more of these in the back? There aren't.
What?
Because I didn't bring it up first.
Well, I will still say I will check just so I can have 2 minutes.
Oh,
alone
yeah,
to
yeah.
myself. To
No, and
stand
everyone
in the
will.
back room and breathe.
This is one of the most broad things that still I don't understand why it's taking people forever to, probably because once a year for some lucky dude this happens. Like they go, well, is it in the back? And the guy's like, I'll check. And then they bring it out. And then the rumor gets spread around that this tactic works. It doesn't. We don't do anything back there. Like, we know. We know it's not there.
We know that there's nothing there.
I have had customers, we sell a lot of movies. We have a lot of stuff in the back room. Here's what's not in the back room. Any movies.
Any DVDs.
Any DVDs.
Whatsoever.
They all fit on the shelf.
all of them.
Every single one is on the floor. You can touch every DVD that our store has in about 10 minutes.
The only DVDs that would possibly be in the back room are something that we have an obscene number of.
And new releases, which if we sell you, we were
Which
fired.
means
So, like, no, not those.
that thing is also going to be in 20 other places in the store because we literally have nowhere to put them.
So, customer, when I say I know for a fact it's not in the back, and you say, well, could you go look? What do you want? What do you think is happening? Because it's like, I already hate you, so even if it was, which it's not, you're not getting it. Sorry about that.
Also, for the people that are like, well, he said he was going to the back and went for 2 minutes. I say 2 minutes because if I go to the back for 10 seconds, you aren't going to believe that I looked hard enough. So, like, 2 minutes is, like, the golden window. Like, wow, he, like... Sometimes I do some jumping jacks, like, work up a sweat. Like, I've actually, like, been, like, looking vigorously.
Oh, yeah. You know what I kind of want to try to do?
What?
Like, if they're at the desk, listeners would not be able to visualize our department, but I think there's probably a way where I could say, let me check the back, and then not make it to the back, and then just duck behind an aisle. I think I could do it. I think I could pull that
And
off.
you can pull it off.
I
Just,
think
like, Ezio it. Just, like, stand behind other customers.
Just be on my way to the back, like, get to an end cap of an aisle, and just drop. And just crouch there, and then count to 30, and then come back and be like, it wasn't in the back, and you'd believe me because you don't really care that much. You just needed there to be something, some solution, and then I told you that there wasn't.
I had a funny thing today on kind of a segue from this, where I watched two people come into the department, and there was a customer wearing. We have these polos that we have to wear for work. Anyways, he was wearing what it didn't look anything like our polos. It was similar, but nothing like. It was the same color. That was it. Anyways, they came into the department. They asked this customer if they worked in the department. I saw them. I locked eye contact with the customer. And the guy was like, no, I don't work here. And then the customer broke eye contact with me and continued walking to another part of the area.
So they didn't bother. They saw you. They asked someone else if they worked here, and then they gave up. That was it. That was the amount that they were of effort they were willing to put into something.
Yes. I wasn't even that far out. I was just like, they were just like, nope, it's done. It's done.
I had a customer. Okay, this is another thing that actually happened today. And I don't know. This is not even like a bad thing. This is just like a what's going on here. I heard a customer ask another customer if they worked at this store.
Yeah.
Then they came over and asked me once they learned that it was no. But the reason that she had asked the other guy if they worked here is that he was still wearing his name tag from another store. Not our store. Another store. A big chain store. Which, like, he's just wearing his name tag. Like, dude, you don't have to live this life.
You can remove your name tag.
Once you walk out those doors, you breathe in the air of a free man, man.
Yeah, that's
Like,
true.
What are you doing? Why do you still have this on? Why do you still have this on?
Yeah, that's the first thing I remove.
This
when
is
I
gonna-
clock
yeah.
off.
I either name tag is gone, jacket over the uniform, no one knows. Oh, people still know.
Just really got to Ezio that stuff.
There's something about the air of a retail associate that customers can just like sniff out like a bloodhound.
They're like, you look like you know where you're going.
You
And
look like-
that means you know where stuff is, and I should ask you if you work here.
I have had people stop me in the aisle on my lunch when this is not a break. This is not even a paid break where I'm still technically on the clock. This is a lunch where I'm off the clock, jacket is on, headphones are in, And I have had customers stop me and ask me where something is. Like, well, they ask me if I work here, first and foremost. And then I say not at the moment, which is my catchphrase when people ask me.
That's so good.
Yeah, I say it and I keep going. Like, what are they going to do? Complain about me? Like, they'd have to follow me around
they don't
for
know
the
your
rest
name.
of my break. Yeah,
They
to
don't know
like
your name because you're
figure
not
out.
wearing a name tag. If you don't know the employee's name, they're probably not on the clock.
That's the worst part about having like these uniforms is that you can't like escape unless you strategize very cleverly with a jacket.
Yeah.
Which is what I do.
I got stopped on the way back from lunch today, and a customer caught me coming out of our break room. And I explained to them that I was not yet on the clock, but I could get them assistance, and then they proceeded to ask me where a product was.
Yep.
I don't work in the department you're in currently. I cannot help you with said thing. I don't know. I will get somebody. Thankfully, somebody directly behind me knew what they were doing, so
Yep. They just
they
don't
covered
hear you.
for me. They took that bullet, and I did not look back at the bloodied body behind me.
Hey, funny man. hey, funny comedian man. It's not free. It's not fucking free. It's not free. It's not a free item.
In fact, I'm gonna charge you for that bag now.
Yeah, I'm charging you for the bags. Like, that's it. It's over. Okay. Listen.
You've made it into the blacklist.
Not only is it not free when it doesn't scan the first time. Like, it has a price. It was in this store. If it's not a product, you brought it in here, in which case, what the fuck are you up to? But, like,
What's your motive? Tell me your plan.
it's not free. Before I worked in the electronics department, I worked in the front end where, like, just as the main cashier. Stop saying it must be free and then laughing like it's hilarious. It happens to us hundreds of times a day.
Yeah, especially when you're working at the very front end. Yeah.
We hear it every day.
It's thousands of customers. Think about how long your transaction took, and then imagine that continuously for 8 hours.
Grocery stores have been around since, like, 1998, at least. We've heard the joke. It's been told.
Everyone's heard the joke.
It's done. It's done, guys.
Let it die.
Let it die. It's done. It's over. It's not free.
It's free advice
That's free advice from us to you.
to you.
Just thought we'd give you that one. That was a segment called "It's the Obvious Ones." I don't know. We'll think
Pay
of
for your goddamn groceries.
a snappier name for it, but this is just like a consistent failing of you, the customer. If you have to fill the silence with something, just don't. How about instead? Because we know that we can get it. We know we can charge you for this, and we're gonna.
We're gonna figure out a way, especially because you asked for it to be free.
Oh yeah, for sure. Easiest way to get something for free: don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up.
Don't bring it up.
Just say nothing. If it scans and fails, say nothing.
And if they say like, "Where'd you get this?" just be like, "I don't know." What kind of fruit is this? Do you know what it's called? No.
Nah.
Like, the moments when I have actually ever presented anything, when I've just been like, take it.
Or you're like, well, it was exotic, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's
That's cool.
because,
Don't know.
yeah, you got one of those, like, tiny little spiny jelly fruits from produce, and you got one of them, and I, like,
Yeah.
it's just like, well, this would have rung up as, like, 23 cents. You don't know what it's called. I don't know what it's called. Let's keep our lives going.
Yeah.
And I hand it to
I
you.
can try and ring an overhead produce for 5 minutes, but to be honest, I'm gonna cost the company more to do that
But
than
yeah.
this goddamn fruit will ever make it.
If you decide to tell me it's free, though, you're paying that fucking 23 cents.
Yeah.
You are paying it.
You are
You are paying it so hard.
blood, sweat, and time. You will age closer to death
I will be on
knowing
hold. I'll be on
that
hold
we
with
have
you.
gone out of our way to charge you that goddamn pennies on the dollar.
Because we're on the clock and time is ticking by. Whatever is going on, the mantra I tell myself and I just keep repeating to myself, no matter what's happening to me at any point in my day, is like, time is moving. Nothing will change how much I make. Like, there's no bonuses, there's no losses. Time is just gonna keep happening no matter who or what I'm dealing with. That's it.
So true.
Yep.
So true.
Preach. So if you have any stories or questions, or actually, hey, if you're an angry customer who is offended by stuff we said, definitely message us.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely
Please.
do it.
Make sure you put in so we can fully read them and find them easily. Put in what's the
Retail release cast.
no the header. Put in the header.
Oh, put in the subject. Yeah, customer. Maybe?
Highly dissatisfied.
Oh yeah.
Highly dissatisfied customer. If you put that in there, we are guaranteed to read it.
Yeah, especially if you have a story about a bad like interaction you had with an actual like retail associate.
Oh yeah, that would be good.
God,
too.
do I want to read it? Because you're wrong.
99% of the time, you're gonna be in the wrong.
I want to find that
still,
story.
but still, prove
Yeah,
to
exactly.
us. Prove to us that you're in the right.
I want to
Prove us
find
that
that
you're in the
story where you had a bad dealing with a retail associate and it wasn't your fault, because I'm gonna find a way to empathize with them.
Again,
Unless they hurt you
physically,
in some way.
we don't want that.
If they hurt you physically in some way, we'll read it because
We'll read.
we'll read it. But that's retailreleasecast@gmail.com. Send in your messages. If you are a retail associate, we should probably just ask our friends, but if you are a retail associate and you just feel like hopping on Skype and letting us know that you'd be willing to chat, feel free. No
yeah.
promises or anything.
No. But
We'd love to have more voices on this because
If
the more
anything-
we have,
we'd love to dictate your stories.
yeah, the more we understand. And if you're comfortable with us sharing a story that you write to us, please let us know that. Feel free to share this with anyone you know who might be entertained by it. What else? We decided that this was going to be sort of a podcast that we do hopefully weekly, and the caveat to it and the promise that we're making right now before it gets weird is if either of us leave our retail jobs, and not 2 new retail jobs, we will leave the podcast. Because we're no longer at the level that would be required to be sincere about what we're talking about. Believe us when we say that Nick and I are actual retail associates. We've been working for 2 and 3 years, 4 and 3
No,
years,
3 and 2.
3 years and 2 years in retail at a customer-facing job, and we're just here to regale you with our horror stories and rantings, and hopefully you can, as an associate, if you're listening to this, find some solace and comfort in the fact that you have brethren.
If you're a customer, learn fun tricks. Also, hear about ridiculous customers.
Yep.
Because there's gonna be some good tales.
Yep, this is just a learning experience, or a sympathy experience, no matter what. We're never going to make generalizations about people based on their race or religion or anything about like what they look like. We're not going to do that. We're not going to be mean. We're just going to point out people who just demand ridiculous stuff from us. We might get mad at people who are like, we might differentiate. We might make generalizations based on age. Maybe.
Oh.
We
Yeah.
actually already did this podcast.
Yeah, probably.
We did do that. Old men wink. A lot of old men wink at people.
of old men.
That's just true. That's just true. And if you are a female associate, you definitely know that that's true. If you know anyone who has been a retail associate and you're like, do old men wink at you? They'll be like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day. They winked at me an hour ago. I'm trapped in a box and people wink at me and I hate it.
Not a day goes by when we don't reset the old man did not wink at me scoreboard to 0.
Yeah, days since last winked at will always be at 0. Okay, do you want to do your sign off? Thanks very
yeah.
much for listening. I'm Carter.
I'm Nick, and remember, there's no quick questions.